Welcome back to the Homestead. Today we were at our local big box store and they had the edible plant section and I couldn't help myself. Normally we buy a lot of our bushes and perennial shrubs and things like that from our nursery that's local to us, and you do get generally a better quality, larger plant there. But they had blueberries for about $10, grapes for about $8, and rhubarb for $4. And since those are all things that we wanted to add more of to the property this year, we decided to go ahead and pick up a few. It's too early to put them outside here. They would get shocked by how cold it is and it would kill them. So what we're going to do is start them in pots indoors, and we'll keep them over by our other plant starts with the grow lights on them for the next couple months, probably about 2 months, and then we can transplant them outside. This will give them a really good head start and a jump on spring, and make sure that they're very healthy before we try and transplant them again. So oftentimes when you get them in these little bundles, they've been shipped like this, they're kind of dried out, so this will give them a good chance inside to really get a jump on the season. So we're going to go ahead and get these into some pots and show you what that process looks like. So they generally come with a planting instruction on the back. So this says, remove it from the bag, remove all the packaging and wrapping material. While the planting hole is being prepared, place the plant in a pail of water so that the roots are well soaked and all packing material is washed off. Don't soak more than 2 hours and soak the roots only. And so then the rest of it is basically for planting outside. Since we're doing it in a container, our depth isn't going to really be important, other than we're going to make sure we don't go any further up the plant than they've already gone with the dirt, because that part of the plant should not be buried and it'll cause it to rot off and die. So we're going to bury it in this pot. You can see that is adequately deep. So we're going to actually start with this one and move the soil from this pot in around it. Alright, so we've got a pair of wire cutters. We're going to use that to get this zip tie off. That way we make sure we're not putting any stress on this plant stem. It's important that you make sure that you're not stressing the plant any more than necessary in the transplanting process. And it does have a paper around it, which is why I wasn't worried about cutting it with the knife, because we're not going to hit any of the roots. And this soil is pretty dry. It's been in the greenhouse all winter, but we're going to put this in a pail of water when we're done to let it really soak up a bunch. And you can see this is growing a little root there, but there's definitely not roots down in the lower portion. So it's not root bound or anything. So we're not going to worry too much about trying to loosen up the roots, because it doesn't have really enough roots so that that's a concern yet at this point with this plant. So our plant is mounted up there in the middle. And we're gonna pack our dirt down just a little bit to make sure that it doesn't settle too much. We need a bit more, so we're going to have to open up another bag of potting soil. You could make your own potting soil. We are not doing that right now because it's still really frozen outside. And so you really can't do that because all of our dirt is under snow. So we'll top that off just like that. Pat it down nicely. And we're going to give that a really good watering. Repeat it another 5 times, and we'll bring you back and show you everything all potted up. We finished getting everything into pots, and we've watered the first 4 blueberries. Ryan went ahead and did that while I was getting everything else potted up. So we'll get these last 3 things watered. We've got our 2 grapevines and our rhubarb there. And we'll get them settled into their new little spot. We're gonna put a grow light hanging up there above them so that they get the lighting that they need. And hopefully these will do really well for us, and we'll be happy to plant them as soon as the weather warms up outside. All right, so I know we kind of wrapped up this video, but we thought we'd bring you back one more time, show you the grow light setup that we did over these plants to make sure that they're getting adequate lighting for the next month and a half to 2 months while we wait for it to warm up outside. So these were the 2-foot grow lights that we originally bought that we decided would not work for our 4-foot shelf, so we ordered 4-foot lights. So as you can see, we've put them to good use. So they're going to keep our new blueberries and grapes and rhubarb with enough light to hopefully make them thrive. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Still chilly out.